You know how many messages. It's a great segue though, Kate, because the Tottenham. I'm still. I mean, Expression said it best, and I'm going to mention his name. I'm not going to steal his lines because that would be ridiculous. He said it best. If Spurs were a man, they're the kind of man that could pull Beyonce and Rihanna one weekend, and the next weekend get rejected by Katie Hopkins. Right? And it's a great line. But that is legitimately what you're. How do you batter Man City 4-0 and then drop points in these games? Do you actually look back at it now and maybe think the City game was the anomaly and all the other matches before and after are actually where you are?
No, I don't think that. But I do look back and think City were poor. But I mean, we smashed Man United as well. Let's not forget that.
We were great. We were brilliant when you played us.
Rubbish, Kate.
Exactly. But look, I actually rang Talk Sport today and had a chat with them about this very thing. There's something inherently wrong with Spurs and the mentality at Spurs. It doesn't matter whether we keep Ange. It doesn't matter whether we bring in somebody else. It's something within the club. Now, whether it's better, whether it's because Levy's always focused on getting top four, and that is where it comes from, whether it's that we literally got to a Champions League final when the expectations went through the roof and people don't realise we're not as good as they think they are. I don't know what it is, but we either need to get a psychologist in to sort this out, or we need to get some sort of voodoo priestess to take away the curse of my club, because it's horrendous. Someone said that they think the new stadium's built on an old Indian burial ground, and it really wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's just, you can't make it up. I vow anyone to find a team that's more difficult to support than Spurs. They are so up and down. It's a roller coaster, game in, game out. It's so frustrating.
It's a roller coaster, just gotta fight it.
I mean,
you just need to enjoy the ride more. Like, that's your family. You just need to enjoy the ride.
Embrace the chaos.
Instead, what the rest of you lot do is increase expectations. We're challenging for this, challenging for that. Just enjoy the ride. Great roller coaster, man.
That's why last week we had a conversation about Man United's rebuild versus what Ange is going through. I agree with you on the show, and I've listened to it back since as well, because it's always important to listen back to things. And you're right. I haven't called for Big Ange to be sacked, and I feel that Big Ange should be given time. The reason why I probably, as an outsider to Tottenham, haven't thought about what you're doing with Ange as a rebuild is because people like yourself, who I listen to and respect a lot, you talk about it as there's no point getting excited because nothing at the club is going to change. For instance, when I speak about Man United's rebuild, I'm more excited about how we've restructured the club and the new direction we're going in, more so than I am Ruben Amorim. So I feel as though there's multiple bits of change going on at the same time. If we'd have just gone out and hired the best coach in the world, if we took Pep off City, not Pep right now to be fair, but if we took last season's Pep off of City and put him into the old structure at Man United, I genuinely think he would fail as well. So that's maybe why last week I didn't sort of view, when we were talking, yourself as going through a rebuild, because the only way you're going to get this squad team better, as you say, is the mindset changing, and a lot of that is going to be done in the transfer window and by the ambition of the owners to set that precedent that you want to be a serious team on the football pitch. Surely,
yeah. I mean, we've got to take into account we've got Vicario out, we've got Van der Ven out, we've got Romero out, we've got Odegaard out. Solanke went off sick. Now, most of those players were out versus City, apart from Solanke. But you know, people are moaning about Solanke not scoring, but if you actually watch his play, he does so much for us. You know, most of the pressing starts with him. He's fantastic, and we miss that massively. But there's just no ambition at this club. You know, I said a few weeks back on this show, Spurs need to understand where they are in the food chain. I'm not even convinced, when I look at the table now, I'm not even convinced we are a top 6 team. I'm not sure, because I look at the likes of Brighton getting better all the time. I know Villa are on a bit of a slump. Man United are massively improving now. Chelsea are going to, well, they're not massively improving, but you're expecting them to improve. Chelsea are massively improving. It's so congested there. I'm not sure Tottenham are now a top 6 club. And I just don't see anything changing with the results until we get a new owner. It's as easy as that. I just don't see it.
Daniel Levy's not giving up Tottenham anytime soon. This is a little passion project to see how many
taking that to his grave.
Concerts, F1 things, NFL games.
New hotel.
Exactly. Like you say, he's not ambitious. He is ambitious. He wants to make the first multifunctional arena that's just supposed to be for the football club. It'll do everything else, but see trophies won for the football club. And it happened. Tottenham had a spell where they tried to do this thing where they go get the winners of managers. They go get the elite of the elite, the guys that guarantee you trophies. Didn't work. So they've now tried to move back to what it was, which was we'll pick up a project manager who plays nice football and hope that it has a good feeling around the football club and we get there. And I get the mentality point because that mentality thing at the club is deep rooted. I also feel though that not a lot, because I do think a fair few Tottenham fans want to win stuff, but there's a section of the Tottenham fan base that are fine with just nice football. But they're not desperate to win because it was really bad under Conte. So now we never want to go back to that, even if it means we don't have a chance at trophies. We just want to play nice football, be everyone's favourite team to watch. Everyone's favourite team to watch doesn't win trophies.
And
Tottenham,
if
Tottenham are going to fall away from that top six thing. That it's a very real worry. If this happens, if this continues over the next 3-4 years, and Villa stick by Emery or Brighton keep nailing recruitment and keep unearthing these gems, eventually they will just overtake. And no amount of Beyonce concerts at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will claw back that difference. On a footballing level, the best players will want to go, and the football club won't replace them correctly. I mean, Jesus, Timo Werner is still starting for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, but to be fair, he had a decent first half. At the weekend, he did have a decent first half.
To be fair, that's the problem. That's the problem.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Like
Timo Werner can give you a good half twice a season. But Timo Werner should not be the guy who Tottenham are turning to when they've got an injury or two.
100%. I agree.
It's not ambitious enough.
I agree.
And if you wanted to break the chain, you lot needed to go out last season against City, beat them 2-0 at your house. That's what you should have done. If you really wanted to break the cycle, that would have shown us you're not worried about Arsenal no more. You're worried about yourselves and getting into the Champions League.
No,
it's little things like that, Kate.
What should have happened is after Pochettino got us to a Champions League final, we should have invested. We should have scrapped the new stadium, put it back a little while, and invested that money in the team. But
you got Ndombele?
Kate, I want to say. I want to say something here because I mean you're one of the rational Spurs fans that I tend to hear or speak to on this channel. I just feel like there's a disconnect between what Spurs are and what some fans expect. You know when you go to a website and there's the About Us page and you just read what this company is about, and you from there you get their business model. Oh, this is what they do. You know, they sell this. This is their culture. You need an About Us page. That when Spurs fans sign up to become Spurs fans, they need to know what they're signing up for. And I don't mean this as a diss. I just feel like everyone's at a disconnect. Okay? Spurs are not this winning team that are all about football culture. No, they're a very, very successful business. Anyone that denies how successful Spurs have been over the last 15 years to make their way into being a top 6 team because of the financial power that they have, that is success to me. In terms of culture on the pitch and football, you haven't been that in my lifetime. Maybe back then, I don't know. I hear stories from the older Spurs fans when they say what they were about 50, 60 years ago. But in my lifetime, I've never seen Spurs to be that. And this is why when people, they rage every time you lose or when you don't win things. I look at, Tom said it perfectly. You have an injury and then you have Timo Werner playing on your pitch. That just shows me that you never came in and tried to build a squad that is meant to be serious to win trophies. You've hired a project manager when you don't have a project. And that's where the disconnect is. Like, I feel like some Spurs fans, by the way, they need a reality check because everyone who wants Ainge sacked, I pray for the day Ainge gets sacked because I want you guys below us. I'm tired of seeing you ahead of us in the table. The minute he gets sacked, you are going to go for a typical British English manager who just keeps you You're just existing.
Graham Potter's going to do all right at like an Everton or something.
Bro,
and
they'll just be existing. That's all they're going to do in the
club.
Premier League. They're just going to exist. Ainge's ambition does not match what Spurs are about. And that's what I'm saying. Forget Spurs fan reading the About page. Ainge should have read the business model before he signed up for the job. Because what he wants versus what the club wants is different. Did you just inhale some helium? Speak, Terry. Oh shit!
Do you know what it is?
You know what as well, with Tottenham.
No, it was a Borat impression saying, "I like what you're saying." That's what I was saying.